Well, Judicial Watch is suing the Justice Department for records about meetings between a law firm working with the Clinton campaign and former FBI General Counsel James Baker. This comes after the DOJ failed to respond to the watchdog group's Freedom of Information Act request last month. The president of Judicial Watch, Tom Fitton, joins me now with more. First of all, thank you very much for joining us this morning. We appreciate it.
Good morning, Heather. Thanks for having me.
So you're seeking records of all meetings in 2016 between former FBI General Counsel James Baker and the Perkins Coie law firm, correct?
Well, that's right. There was a specific report that James Baker testified to House investigators that he had an unusual request or a visit with a lawyer for Perkins Coie who happened to represent the Democratic National Committee and Hillary Clinton, and hired Fusion GPS, and all that led to the Fusion GPS dossier that was used to target Team Trump. And Baker says it was an unusual request, and at the meeting he was conveyed documents about the Russia probe and some computer devices that had something to do with Russia hacking. I'm not sure. Now, the law firm says it wasn't about, the meeting wasn't about anything having to do with their representation of the DNC and the Clinton campaign. And so, you know, there's a little bit of a mystery as to what was provided, and it raises some questions about, again, the collaboration between, in an unusual way, the top lawyer for the FBI and one of the top lawyers for the Clinton-DNC operation. What
possible explanation would there be other than that to share this information?
Look, the FBI General Counsel testified under oath it was about Russia. So this is on top of the dossier being laundered into the Clinton, into the FBI and the DOJ numerous ways. It was used by not only the Obama administration, but by the Trump administration on behalf of Mueller to spy on the Trump team through Carter Page.
So would Mueller have been aware of all this activity?
Oh, I would presume so. I think one of the reasons we're having difficulty finding out about this collusion is because the Mueller special counsel operation has benefited from the collusive efforts between the DNC, the Clinton campaign, Fusion GPS, which by its own admission used Russia intel sources to dig up dirt on Donald Trump, then to share with the FBI and DOJ. And remember, that FISA warrant, that final renewal of a FISA warrant, was signed by Rod Rosenstein in the middle of the Mueller investigation.
Why has that still not been released in its entirety, like President Trump had said he was going to do?
The president said that he was convinced to kick it over to the Department of Justice Inspector General. We're still waiting. It is urgent the president release this information. Those who've looked at the full FISA warrant applications and said that the additional information is even more scandalous than what's already in there.
All right, so another scandal brewing. Conservative writer Jerome Corsi, he has hit Bob Mueller with his criminal complaint. He says that the special counsel sought to get false testimony from him.
Well, you know, Jerry Corsi thinks that he's been truthful with the special counsel. He's being pressured to say things that aren't true, and that's deeply disturbing. The problem for the special counsel is you have these individuals like Jerry Corsi get caught up in the investigation, and Jerry says, look, I've been trying to be forthright with him. I haven't lied. They found emails that suggest some of my testimony, however, made in good faith, was not accurate, and they're accusing me of perjury, and it's not the case.
Well, he sees what happened with other people.
George Papadopoulos. You know what's interesting here? You know, these folks would never be here but for their connections to the Trump campaign. In the case of Corsi, it's 6 degrees of Kevin Bacon connection to the Trump campaign. And, you know, he's called in as a witness. He's trying to cooperate. And then he's allegedly facing jail time. So I don't blame him for yelling about it.
Yeah. So what about Comey? We know that he is now set for this closed-door hearing on Capitol Hill later this week, Friday specifically, I think. Should the former FBI director be held accountable for exonerating Hillary Clinton before even finishing the investigation? You and I have talked about this before. And what should Republicans ask him?
Well, they should ask him about that. They should ask him about why he told Congress just before the election that there was nothing on the Anthony Weiner laptop before evidently they had reviewed all the emails. They should ask about why and how he took FBI memos he created on Donald Trump from the FBI and then improperly leaked them to the New York Times to get the Mueller appointment going. They should ask him about this use of the Clinton-DNC funded dossier and Peter Strzok and what he was up to, why it is he ran essentially these investigations out of his office as opposed to the ordinary course where you would have had local offices of the FBI either in New York or elsewhere here in Washington, D.C. run the investigations. You know, James Comey's at the center of the storm here, and of course, you know, he's under investigation himself, so this is a serious issue for him, and I just wish that Congress had questioned him earlier, but
right.
You know, the Republicans are about to lose control, so
you expect
I guess they're doing everything they can.
We're almost out of time, but do you expect equal treatment for James Comey if it is determined that he lied as well from Bob Mueller?
No, I don't. I think some of these folks are protected, and unless there's a radical change in outlook for the FBI, I just want an investigation done. We're not even sure there's anything being done in terms of investigating these abuses of authority by the FBI and the Justice Department to target the Trump team.
Yeah. All right. Tom Fitton, thank you so much for joining us, and we appreciate you and your team staying on top of it.
You're welcome. Thank you.